Hey y'all, it's Hope at Crafty Hope, and welcome to day 10 of my ICAD journey. ICAD stands for Index Card a Day. It is the brainchild of Tammy Garcia of Daisy Yellow, who's also Gypsy999 on Instagram. Now, Tammy has weekly themes and daily prompts that are optional to use for ICAD, and the whole idea of ICAD is to use the 61 days. It runs June 1st to July 31st, and each day you just decorate an index card with some mixed media things or doodling or however it is you enjoy creating. My friend Nina Fickett has also joined in with her own set of prompts, which are the mixed media ICAD prompts. And I put, when they announce their prompts, I put them on the back of my card. And then the day of, I decide whether or not I'm feeling those prompts. So Tammy's prompt for today, the Daisy Yellow prompt, is Rubik's Cube. And the mixed media ICAD prompt from Nina is collage. Now you can see I am using the collage. I knew that one would be super easy because I pretty much collage every day when I do these. I'm working from a couple box of scrap papers, and my goal with ICAD is to try to not create more scraps and to work through these scrap boxes. So yeah, I'm putting down just a bunch of scraps using my Oohoo glue stick. Now, I do these first thing in the morning. I get up, I do my journaling, and then I go and do my ICAD. So that's like, while the day is young, I go ahead, even though I don't put the videos up until about 4 o'clock Central. I'm doing these first thing in the morning, and I did something I try not to do, which is I went and looked at what other people had already done for today. And I was a bit influenced in what I chose to do. And that's part of the reason I don't like to look first thing, is because I don't want to be coming off somebody else's ideas. But I did it today, and it kind of helped because I didn't think I was going to use the Rubik's Cube prompt today. But seeing some of the other ones kind of was like, oh, well, it doesn't have to be complicated. It reminded me that it could be as simple as, well, you'll see what I'm going to do with it. So I went ahead and got my collage down, and that meets the mixed media prompt. And now I am putting just a little bit of gesso and brayering it out just to kind of make it all a little more cohesive and give me a little bit of a base for everything that I'm going to do, because the next thing I'm going to do is neurographic doodling. Now, I did some of that. I learned about it last year during ICAD. And my favorite thing to use for them are Sharpie products. So I like Sharpie pens, and let me go ahead and tell y'all, I was unable to dry my card when I did this because I do them so early in the morning that my husband wasn't even up this morning. So I didn't want to turn on my heat gun and wake him up because my craft room is right next to our bedroom. So I was trying to be super quiet, and so I was having trouble with my fine point Sharpie because I don't know, it ended up being just that particular Sharpie. I was thinking it was because my page was wet, and yeah, so but I used the chisel tip one and ended up making my initial doodles, which with neurographic doodling you tend to start with a couple of geometric shapes, circles, and I really kind of wish I had thought to do squares like a Rubik's Cube, but that's okay. I did circles because that's kind of my pattern. And then you draw some lines through them, around them, all over, just kind of make some fun lines on the page. And then where the lines intersect, you curve the angles so that, where it's normally like a 90-degree angle or something and very sharp and pointy, you're going to curve those. So it kind of looks like neurons. So this technique was apparently developed, I think, by some Russian psychologist or something. You can find all kinds of information about neurographic doodling. I like that it is, I don't know, kind of mindless almost. It's just very doodling, and once you get your lines down, which are very free form and don't have to look like anything, or you could draw a shape and then do the graphic doodles around it, but it doesn't have to. All right, you can see there I'm struggling with that particular Sharpie. I don't know if I got it wet or if it's a fairly new one, so I don't know what's going on with it. I will switch ones later, but I'm going to struggle with this for a bit longer before I finally switch to an older one that was a little bit juicier. So I'm just going through and connecting all of these. And like I said, I really like that this is just kind of a mindless, it's therapeutic and meditative. And I like to do this a lot of times when I'm watching TV or something like that. And then once you get your doodles in, you can call this done. You can do this on a plain sheet of paper. You could do this on book pages. You can do it on a, a canvas if you want. All of that is up to you. And like I said, I learned about it last year. Somebody else had done some on some of their ICADs last year, and I was like, I love this. And so I did, I think, a couple ICADs last year with it. And this morning I saw somebody had done a neurographic doodle on their iCAD. So I was like, ooh, yeah, I'm going to do that on top of my collage today. So again, I was influenced by somebody else, not just the prompts. But that's okay. So as you saw, I used my chisel tip to draw my initial lines, then my fine tip Sharpie to kind of make all my little connections, the curves of the connections, and then I've gone to an ultra fine point Sharpie just to even out some of the details. All of this doesn't have to be done. You can use one single Sharpie, one of just the regular Sharpie markers, that fine tip one, to do all of this. I just have honed in this technique that I like. So I'm going through all of these, and I've tried other pens and markers and all those. I've got some Sharpie gel pens that are fine tips that I enjoy using as well. So I kind of go through different techniques with this. Now, once I get all of these little details done, what I like to do is do some doodling within those spaces. And that varies different ways, different things. One of my favorite ways to doodle and make marks is to just draw straight lines, y'all. Yeah. Again, I like that this is mindless, it's repetitive, it's meditative. So I'm taking one of those spaces, and I have that ultra fine tip Sharpie, and I am just drawing lines all the way across. I thought about speeding this up, but I know that some people like to see it, and I kind of maybe should have, because you can't really see what I'm doing since my hand's in the way, so I'm sorry about that. And my lines got a little wonky and curved instead of being straight, and I didn't care. It's not about the evenness or straightness of the lines. It's about doing it for the, like I said, the meditative practice of it. So I picked another space, and I'm going to draw some lines in one direction, and then I'm going to turn my card and kind of have them intersect and be perpendicular. And then I'll turn my card again and do them a different way. I don't know, this is kind of like Zentangling, I suppose, but inside these neurographic doodles. And so I don't know a lot about Zentangling. I like how they look, but it's not something I can do. There's so many terms and techniques and all of that. So I've got my own little patterns I like to do in Doodle. So I'm going to put these little lines all in this space, and then I'm going to turn and look at my card and decide I need something else. At first, I was thinking I needed something with more curves in it and less lines. But I decided no, instead I wanted to make a bold statement. So I'll get that big chisel tip back out and just draw some big chunky lines there. And then use my regular Sharpie to even them out a little bit. All right, all the doodling I'm going to do. And I decided for my close to last step, I'm going to just watercolor within some of these spaces. And I'm going to use the colors of a Rubik's Cube. So that's how I'm bringing that back in. Simply enough, that's how I was inspired. I saw somebody else do something where they had just blocks of the colors of a Rubik's Cube. And I was like, oh, I don't have to take this literally, Hope. Duh, you can interpret this any way you want. And because I wasn't going to use the prompt, but then I was like, well, that'll give me something to add color on here. So I went with my green at first, and then the red, and then I think I do the blue, the orange, the yellow, and the white is, well, it's going to go on there. It's not going to make a big impact. I thought about using another marker or something, but that was just bringing something else into this that it didn't need. Because, so yeah, I just used some white watercolor. And this watercolor set is just, I don't know, it's a set from Hobby Lobby. It's like their 48 watercolor set that I got when they had all of their sets on clearance, not clearance, sale. Duh. So I'm adding these colors in super fast. Y'all, I don't know a whole lot about watercoloring, but I love to do it. And I done any watercoloring on my iCAD yet? I don't think so. Yeah. And I enjoy doing it. And I think after yesterday's card, which I love, where I watered down that acrylic paint, I was like, ooh, watercolor would be fun one day. So, all right, so here's me adding my white, and then I'm going to dry the card real quick, and I'll pull out my Tim Holtz small talk stickers and pick a little sticker that says, find joy in the ordinary. Oh, wait, at first I decided to use some stays on it and ink up the edges, just to give it, I don't know, give it a little something. And then I'll pull out my small talk stickers, and I'll take that ultrafine Sharpie and just go around it kind of messily. And then, oh, my sticker starts to pop up, so I used my Oohoo to glue it back down. And that's it. You're going to get some detail shots here at the end, so stay tuned for that. If you like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Make sure to check out hashtag ICAD or hashtag ICAD 2022 or hashtag DYICAD. I've got links to most of those below, or clicks, but that's how you can find other ICADians. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for coming by and watching, and have a fabulous day. Bye.